What is up, people, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go through all of the Codemasters F1 games from F1 2009 all the way to trying to get a drive for one of the top teams in F1 2017. We're here for round 7, I believe this is, of the 2009 season at the Turkish Grand Prix. And if you have missed any of the previous episodes, go catch up with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens, and you can also find the previous episode down in the description below. So definitely go check out Monaco. Monaco was such a crazy race, so if there's one episode that I think you should definitely watch, it's got to be Monaco. So yeah, definitely go watch that. But to spoil Monaco for you now, we got a race win at the Monaco Grand Prix. Incredible result there. I don't even know how I got that race win. I went into it thinking, yep, this is going to be difficult. We're going to hit all the barriers, which we did in all fairness in qualifying. We did it to some extent during the race, but everybody else seems to have the same issues during the race. Like, we got a stop-go penalty, I believe, and a drive-through, and we still managed to win the race because there were other drivers having to make pit stops because of front wing damage or other stuff happening. So, really crazy race at Monaco. Don't know how I got the race win, but I will take it at the end of the day, and that means I'm currently 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, which, if we look at the order, 3rd place will get us a drive for Force India in F1 2010, but it's not confirmed just yet. There's still a long way left to go, so there's still every opportunity to maybe even move up further and get the Williams seat, but also even chances for us to slip up, fall further down the standings, and drop to likes of Sauber, Toro Rosso, or even into one of the backmarket teams for F1 2010. But up next is, of course, the Turkish Grand Prix. So let's have a look at the race preview going into Turkey. So podium in sight for Gullis. Hayden Gullis' performance so far this season have put Toro Rosso in an optimistic mood ahead of the forthcoming 2009 Formula 1 Turkish Grand Prix. Will Gullis be able to finish in the points or even earn a podium spot? I'm hoping so. After getting the race win in Monaco, I'm hoping that I can at least get a points finish here today. A podium would be absolutely fantastic, and a race win will just be amazing to try and help us go further up in the standings. But without any further ado, let's head over to the race weekend for the Turkish Grand Prix. Here we go then, one-shot qualifying time for the Turkish Grand Prix as we go down in towards turn 1. I'm not too sure, I haven't done this circuit in a while. I absolutely love, though, the Turkish Grand Prix, and I do miss it. Oh, that's a slow turn 1 there. And we're going to have a few drivers in our way as we go through turn 2 into turn 3. Had to get out of the way of the Red Bull there. The Force India also in the way, but luckily he stayed over to the left-hand side, so it didn't cause us too many issues. Keep on forgetting that I just need to brake as late as possible on this game if I want to be able to get through the corners. So that's nice and tidy, but let's see how this lap is. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad after that mistake in turn 1. Already 1.3 seconds down though after the first sector split, so that's not good. Let's see if we can make up the time. Okay, not long left to go in this lap, and we're now 3 seconds down on the pole time set by Sebastian Vettel. That is not good. That is not a good sign. We need to make it up through the final couple of corners, through this hairpin, into this slow right, and then into this, well, sort of second hairpin or chicane. I'm not too sure what this corner wants to be, but down towards the line. What is the lap time going to be good enough for? It's a very slow lap. 4 seconds off the pace of Sebastian Vettel, and that's not looking good at the moment to get us through into Q2. We're just going to have to wait and see, but let's see what this lap time's good enough for. That's awful. Absolutely awful. We've got so much work to do in the race now. All the way down in 20th position. Over a second slower than Nelson Piquet as well. I feel like Turkey is going to be a difficult one. I love this circuit. I've loved it on F1 2010, 11, and I think it's only on those 2 games. It might be on F1 2012, but I think it's only on F1 2010 and 11. I've loved this circuit, but for some reason on the Nintendo Wii, I'm struggling just a little bit. So we need to find the pace. We need to pick it up. We need to get better over the course of the race. But 20th position. Let's see what we can do from last on the grid as we head over to the race. Here we go then, race day for the Turkish Grand Prix, and starting from a really disappointing 20th position. It was a very difficult qualifying session, unfortunately, which means that we are right down at the back of the field in P20, but we'll be looking to make up that ground as the race goes on. We're going for the one-stop strategy, so hopefully that will do the trick to get us into the top half of the field and maybe even into the points. We have a look through the race standings now, and Sebastian Bourdais, my teammate, beating me once again in qualifying in P15. And there we are, right at the back of the field in 20th position. So, Let's get today's race underway as the lights come on now for the Turkish Grand Prix. The 2009 Turkish Grand Prix goes to 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go. We're going to take it cautiously down to the start, but there was a slow-moving Williams there. Oh, collision there with the Williams. Sensitivity on this Wii steering wheel was very, very difficult as we go down in towards turn 1, touching with the Force India's car across me there. Gave him as much room as I possibly could. I was squeezed in there. There was a little bit of contact between the two of us, but we are up now into P14. What a start that was, all the way up into P14. And now up next for me is my rival of Heikki Kovalainen. So let's see what we can do on the McLaren drive. A bit slow through there. And hopefully this race isn't going to be a case of just defending from the guys behind. I want to try and make positions. I want to make up a bit of ground. So much quicker through that section of corners than Heikki Kovalainen. I feel I'm going to lose out a little bit of speed though, because I think that McLaren is a bit faster in a straight line. And also, I think he used a little bit of curves. But here we go, straight line speed and slipstream all the way down into the hairpin, up the inside. Job done. Job done, Heikki Kovalainen, trying not to cut the corner. Up the inside, the Williams as well. A little bit cautious there. Very, very close. I'm not too sure where the Williams is, so I'm going to go around the outside. Oh, very close going into the back of Nick Heidfeld there. But that was a good first lap. Very good first lap. Getting the job done on Heikki Kovalainen and also the Williams, which I'm going to say is Nakajima. It could be Rosberg, but I think it is Nakajima at the end of the day. But down towards turn 1, right on the back of Nick Heidfeld. Where am I going to go? Right-hand side? Yep, up the inside, round the outside of turn 3. And I think that's going to be job done at the end of the day on Nick Heidfeld. Oh, I've run it very, very deep, though, onto the curb. Will he come back at me? Hugging the inside line now. And that should be job done. Should be job done on Nick Heidfeld. Oh, a little bit of contact between that Sauber and Toyota ahead of me. Here we are, getting the run on both of these guys on the right-hand side. Can we do it on Kubica as well, having to lift off the throttle? There was no point in me going for the overtake there, but I've run it a little bit wide. So what is... Oh, no, the Toyota's stuck to me. Did not know that. The Toyota was actually stuck to me behind. Not too sure whether I pushed him off the track or not. But I didn't get a warning for a black and white flag, which I've just got there for going into the back of Kubica. Here we go on Robert Kubica now, not able to go for the overtake through that corner. Still right on the back of him, but just looking for the opening. In the top 10 at the moment, but I want to still carry on to make progress. I want to get into the points. Here we go, using curves like I did on his teammate Nick Heidfeld on the right-hand side. This time I'm going to try and make sure I make it through turn 3 and get the job done, which I have. There we go, job done on Robert Kubica. And I've moved up into the top half of the field, up into P9, nearly going to the back of Lewis Hamilton there. Still eyeing up the McLaren drivers. Very, very close between these drivers at the moment. Yet, no one is yet able to get away from the pack, which is making this job a lot easier of trying to overtake. So every time I overtake someone, I'm just straight onto the back of the next driver. So we'll be looking to get past Lewis Hamilton, maybe down the back straight. Possibly through here now. Here we go on the curves. Oh, having to lift off the throttle a little bit as I got caught on the curb. But I might be able to dive it up the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Oh, I pile drived into Felipe Massa. Sorry, Kimi Raikkonen. But I've got the job done. The stewards did not mind that overtake. That was dirty. Very, very dirty from myself. But if the stewards allow it, I'll take it. I will take that overtake at the end of the day. I need to make it through the field. And up next is Jarno Trulli, who is actually a little bit further up the road. So I was struggling setting 130.9s in the qualifying session, and I've just gone and set 126.9. A whole 4 seconds faster than that lap time. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy what I could have done in the qualifying session with some practice. Here we go then, right to the back of Jarno Trulli. Are we going to go up the inside? Yes, we are. Jarno Trulli so slow in a straight line at the end of the day. And there we go, job done on the Toyota, up into P6, and we are firmly in the points now. What a start. Is this possibly going to be a last of first challenge? Oh, it looks like Felipe Massa is coming into the pits now, so that's going to gain me a position. A couple of other drivers into the pits. Well, I say a couple, there's just one more driver into the pits. That's Mark Webber, so that moves me up into P4. Okay, the team want me to come into the pits on this lap. I'm going to take it for 1 lap further. The tyres, they are yellow at the moment, which is an indicator that that is quite bad. But if I want to go for the one-stop strategy, I feel like I need to go for 1 more lap just to make it easier on the second set of tyres. So we are going to come into pits on this lap because we have to, with fuel definitely, because we will run out of fuel if we go for 1 more lap. But I think I can hold out for this one and come into pits at the end of lap 6. Here we go then, the end of lap 6, coming into the pits now for a one and only pit stop in this race. Got to take it nice and cautiously. Don't want to drive into the barrier at the end of the day. And here we go, coming into the pits for a 1 and only pit stop. What sort of pit is it going to be? We need a quick pit stop here today if we want any chance of getting into points. It is going to be a sort of slow one because we do have to take on some more fuel than we would usually if we were going for the 2-stop strategy. So the fuel's going to take a while, but the tyres are sorted, no front wing change, so we should be able to go straight away once we've got the fuel in. So just waiting for them to load the fuel. Come on. Come on. We need to go any second now. Come on. Right. Go, 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 go. 19 seconds. 20 seconds. Right. 20-second pit stop. Very, very slow. All the way down at the back of the grid now, which means we're going to be making lots and lots of overtakes if we do want any chance of getting some good points here today. Oh, very close to that barrier. But here we go. Away we go. Back on track. And let's see what we can do. We've got other drivers making pit stops still in this race. There is still a chance to get onto even the podium, but we just have to wait and see for that. Sebastian Bourdais is coming into the pits for his stop. I think more drivers are going to be into the pits as well on this lap. So this is going to be a good opportunity to see whereabouts I am going to come out. So Sebastian Bourdais into pits. No, looks like, okay, there are a couple of more drivers into the pits, so they're going to come out just ahead of me at the moment. Nice and tight. That was a great line into turn 1. Not the best, but still pretty decent. And we're going to come out just behind Fernando Alonso. So it does look like we have lost a little bit of time there in the pit stop phase, but I'm not too sure whereabouts Alonso was before the pits, as we may have a chance to have a look and go for an overtake very, very soon. Sort of messed up that line. I was going for the switchback maneuver and just sort of messed up through the final corner, but there is a chance. Lewis Hamilton's retired again in this race. He's retired so many times this season. Alonso runs wide. What are you doing, man? I had nowhere to go. You didn't give me any options there. I'm sorry that I've just punted Alonso off the road, but where was I supposed to go? He ran it wide in front of me and then slowed down. What am I supposed to do there? Am I supposed to react to that in split seconds on this terribly graphic game? I don't even know. Right, catching up to Robert Kubica, who is up next. We'll be looking to try and get out ahead of him. No, that's Lewis Hamilton with his engine failure. So I'll see you later, Lewis. Sorry about your engine failure, but tough luck. Who else is into the pits? Come on, surely there's more drivers coming into the pits on this lap. Which there are. Okay, so I'm going to move up a couple more positions on Jarno Trulli and a few more drivers. Whereabouts is this going to put me in the race? Hopefully a bit further up the standings than I was before. Up into P8, so I am in the points at the moment. That's very, very good news. I've got Alonso quite a bit behind me, so the pressure is sort of off from Fernando Alonso. Just need to make sure I don't make any silly mistakes in this race, and I don't have to worry about him anymore. But at the moment, the job is just to try and catch up to those other guys. Oh, looks like Robert Kubica is into the pits here on the end of lap 9. So that's good news for me. Going to move up another position, as well as Timo Glock and a few more other drivers. Right, whereabouts is this going to put me? This has surely got to put me on the podium. Whereabouts am I? Just behind in P4 at the moment. Kimi Räikkönen is currently ahead in P3 on that podium position. But this is really, really good at the moment. In P4, and looking like I could get a podium in this race. Not too sure if any more drivers are yet to pit. We'll have to wait and see for that one. But P4, after starting in 20th, that is a cracking result. Okay, we've got a couple more drivers into the pits. This has surely got to put me up into second. Is that me up into second, or were those two guys retirees? Ah, damn it, they got my hopes up. They're retirees. I thought they were having their pit stop. If they were, that would have put me up into P2. Damn. Right, so we'll do it out on track. Kimi Räikkönen, I don't think he's got a pit stop to take. So I'm going to have to put on the pressure and try and catch him up if I want a podium here today. What on earth has just happened there? What on earth has happened there? I bounced over the curb. No, 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 Alonso! No! I've thrown it away. I've still got a massive gap to Adrian Sutil, but I've definitely thrown this away. I've got to try and survive this final lap now with what is a broken front wing, unless I come into the pits, but the pit stop's just going to take far too long. I don't know how long I'm going to lose time with the broken nose cone, but I feel like it's not going to be as much as I'm going to lose with the blimmin', you know what I'm on about, the pit stop. Anyway, that was annoying. I don't even know what happened. I just took my normal line, took a little bit too much curb on the left-hand side through the final corner. It bounced me up, and I was just sent into the runoff area. I was trying to turn as much as I possibly could to sort of get the car back on track. I know, running wide through turn 1, that's not good. But yeah, I tried to get it turned to get it back on the track, but at the end of the day, we just went straight into the barrier, and I saw the barrier coming, and I was too busy trying to stop the car than commentating what I was actually doing. And at the end of the day, now we've lost our front wing. We've got to try and defend from Adrian Situ, who I feel like is going to get past us. We're going to drop down into P6. We can defend as much as possible. I mean, we can hold lines like that through slow corners. But the fast ones, it's going to be difficult to hold off Adrian Situ at the end of the day. He's clearly going to be able to go for that overtake very, very soon. But hold the line, try and get the car turned in, and see what I can do on this final lap now. I've got Situ. I've got all the drivers down to 8th position right behind me. So at the moment, I will still be in the points, but I will only get 1 point out of what could have been a possible, I don't even know how many, 5 I think it is for coming in P4, and now I think somebody else has joined the train. So that's all the way down to the drivers who are out of the points. So I'm going to slow it all down in towards this left-hander, just to make sure I get through it okay. Back on the throttle, back on the curves, and look at this train of cars I've got behind me. Felipe Massa has now overtaken Adrian Situ through the fast right-hander. Very lucky to be able to get through there. I've still got quite a bit of a gap to Massa, but here they come right on my tail. Going to take the defensive line all the way down into the hairpin. Come on. No! No, no braking with the front wing. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, 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 no. Get ahead. Get ahead of PK. I've lost it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. And there's Fisichella. I've thrown it all away. I've thrown it all away here in Turkey. Just put the car into the wall. What is the point? Oh, no. I had 4th place in the bag. I was catching up to Raikkonen. I was never going to catch up to Raikkonen at the end of the day. He was just way too quick. And so were the 2 Brawn cars. But I had P4. I had 5 points in the bag after starting all the way down in 20th place. And I went and threw it all away by not paying attention, taking too much curb, put it into the wall. That's the problem with driving on a Wii. You take your mind off it for 1 second, your hand drops a little bit too further, the sensitivity will take that, and you'll just turn too much, you'll turn too little. And it's cost me big time. It has cost me big time at the end of the day. But Rubens Barrichello, he is the race winner here today, with Jensen Button 2nd and Kimi Raikkonen getting onto the podium in 3rd. There's Fernando Alonso in 4th place, which should have belonged to me if I didn't make that stupid mistake. Felipe Massa finishes in 5th, with Situ in 6th, Vettel in 7th, Fisichella 8th, myself unfortunately in a very disappointing 9th position with 0 points to my name. I'm just so annoyed. I'm so annoyed that I didn't get any points here today. PK, he finished in P10, ran out the top 10, and then Sebastian Bourdais in 11th. Mark Webber all the way down in P15, with Lewis Hamilton and Nick Heidfeld are 2 DNFs of today's race. Looking at the Drivers' Championship, after 7 races, we're still in the top half. We're still in P4, which is a Sauber seat for next year. We're only 1 point as well behind Mark Webber. So we get that point over Mark Webber, we can move up into the Force India seat once again. But we had a great opportunity to maybe move into P2. I mean, Barrichello did win the race, so I'm not too sure whether that would have been possible at the end of the day. 5 points, no, we would have still been in P3, but we would have still been in that Force India seat. And it's definitely cost us quite a lot here today. But unfortunately, for now, it's a Sauber seat that we have to deal with. And in the Constructors' standings, Toro Rosso still hold on to P4. It's allowed the teams behind us, like Renault, to actually catch up a bit to us. Renault now seem to be getting in the mix. Red Bull managed to get a little bit further away. Sebastian Vettel did get points here today, and so did Ferrari and Brawn GP. But we're not really too worried about those guys. We're not really too worried about the Constructors' Championship either. So let's head back to the menus. Well, that was stupid, wasn't it? Absolutely awful. 20th position to have an amazing drive up into P4, and then I threw it all away by not paying attention, and I put myself into the wall. What an absolute idiot. What an absolute idiot I am. Anyway, race review after that race. Gullis finishes outside the points. Hayden Gullis' outing at Istanbul ended with unsatisfactory results for the Toro Rosso team. Gullis seemed off form, finishing outside the top 8. I mean, I still beat my teammate at the end of the day. I crashed, lost my front wing. I had that for a whole lap, and I still beat my teammate. So Toro Rosso really should be pointing the finger over at Sebastian Bourdais, but I do agree, it wasn't good enough from me. I definitely should have had points today, and that is a very, very disappointing race. But that would do for the Turkish Grand Prix. Up next, it should be the Canadian. Is it? Yes. No, it's the British Grand Prix, which is on there. I think I don't know whether there was a Canadian Grand Prix in 2009, actually. But up next is the British Grand Prix. So we'll be looking to have a good result there at my home Grand Prix, of course. So fingers crossed we can do so in Britain. We're just going to have to wait and see for that one. If you have enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already done so for daily Formula 1 content, Rags to Riches free, F1 2017 career mode, and of course other Formula 1 content on this channel as well. As always, don't forget to leave a comment down below telling me what you thought about today's race. How frustrated are you? I mean, watching that, how frustrated are you to see me up in P4 and then throw it all away on the second to last lap? I mean, I guess you guys are going to be very, very pissed off with me in the comment section. But I look forward to that, and I look forward to replying to those comments as well. But I'll see you next time for the British Grand Prix. Until then, it's goodbye from me.